Hello, this is Gabby Hart from Gabby Illustrates, and today, instead of jumping into my next three mythology characters, instead, I am drawing and working on wings because I need to get my revenge for what I did last time. I did this character who's supposed to have wings on her back, but it looks nothing like wings. Instead of like two giant strawberries on her back or behind her back. I don't like it. I hate it. So I decided to practice. Well, to be honest, my first one didn't come out that great either of the wings, but it looks more like wings than this one. Point being, the reason why I'm practicing wings right now, I've been practicing drawing, looking at references of wings, and looking at how watercolor, watercolor wings, looking at real wings, and trying to implicate how they did it and figure out how I could do it. And especially since I did it in one colors first. I didn't get what I was doing, so that's why I look at the watercolor samples and see what they did in watercolor, and then I started doing it in one shade color, which is very easy and simple and straightforward. But the wings I need to do is two colors, so then I try to do a two-color wing, and it came out okay. It looked more like wings than the first time I did it, so I'm trying to take what I just did and hopefully I could come out with something better. So I'm going to do a practice sketch first. So let's do that. Okay, so before I jump into the final or the redone or redo ring of the mythology character, I decided to do a practice run, I guess, or practice sketch, whatever you want to call it. And I took two reference photos. One is for the final, and then the other one is just something randomly done just to get an idea or a practice doubles for a practice sketch, which is the one I'm doing now. And how the wings will look. Two toned color wings, because that's the wings final design is going to be two-toned. I'm still going for the strawberry, so it has to be green and red. And for this one, but I'm not going to go green and red just yet, but I still need to have two tones. So I did a quick sketch, just trying to get the pose and the wings accurate. At first I drew it like way too high and too far in because I had no room for the wings. So I had to erase my sketch, redo it, make the body lower, more towards the edge of the paper so I have more room for the wings. So that's the most important thing, because if I scrunch it up again in the end, I won't have much space to draw the wings. And then after that, I had to figure out what colors I should do and apply. And I decided to go something super simple but works together, which was yellow and purple. What could go wrong? Except for the skin. The skin, I wanted it to be brown, but I think this brown looks so red. But I think it's supposed to be a brown. That's the weird thing. I think it was have three color browns on this palette, but it looks like I only have one. Every time I apply it, it only looks like I have one. It doesn't look a straight up brown. It looks like a brownish red. That's the only thing I have problem with these brown. Well, that and when it dries, it comes out a chalky color. But anyway, I digress. Well, fully dries. Like the next day, it looks chalky. And then I mean, this one kind of looks chalky-ish when it's drying right now. But it's not as bad as the ones I did yesterday, which looks like all the colors have been evaporated from this picture. Or maybe it's just a pink. But then in the end it grays too. Anyway, I am going off track. So, coloring the hair. And I also want to stay away from using black ink on this. I know what it is with me and black ink when it comes to watercolors specifically. I think I use black ink for other things like markers. But again, it's ink on ink, so I feel like it works. But when it comes to watercolors, I don't like it. Also ink. Again, ink on ink. But I don't like using watercolors. I also don't like using when I'm using gouache. So and acrylic and of course oil. So yeah, so maybe it's my limit to applying ink on paint is, well, technically not paint, is to ink and to markers. I just don't like it on watercolor with watercolor as much. I mean, I have done it. I just don't like it, but it's usually as a wash. And then so anyway, and then so apply the yellowish, and then I was trying to figure out what colors to use for the shade. So I think I went with an orangish color. It looked red at first, but I think it's orange. So it works with this. It's like it's not too red. It has some yellow in it, so it works. So there's orange in it. Anyway, and then I used the blue for the shade of the purple. The shade of the skin I added red. I mean, it already looked red, so it's not changing anything much. And then trying to use a darker brown, but then when I mixed the shade of purple, it came out purple brown. But the wings was the hardest part, so I saved the wings for last. Because I knew I want to struggle with that. Especially even though I practiced it a little bit, I haven't practiced a lot. So I jumped into it, and the one that's furthest to the back wing, was the easiest because it was a full shade. And I was just making it dark, but you could still see like the feathers at the tip. And the blending of the 4 colors, forgetting blue. Because I think the one I had hardest was the one that actually showed more. Okay, and then I was like, how much color should I apply versus the losing of the shape? And I think I left way too much white, and the wings are not uniform. That's because I was drawing it on the spot too. But it looks fine-ish. It looks better than the strawberry behind the back. At least it looks like wings. You can see more of the feathers. You can see the more of the definition of what I was trying to go for, which I like much better than the first. So hopefully I could do better at the final drawing. And the sun is going down, so I'm going to do this. I'm not going to rush the painting process, but I am going to rush the drawing a bit. So hopefully I get this. I'm super nervous. I'm going to try my best. I feel like I have a sliss, which is weird because that's my sister. Maybe it's the alcohol. She gave me alcohol to drink, so no one else. So the next one. So here it is, the moment of truth. I'm going to redraw my character, the character I drew last time. The strawberry, I already forgot the name. Ifrit. Still can't pronounce it. Mythology character with strawberry wings. And I feel more confident doing this now after having a lot of practice and trying it with a character once before than when I first did it. Mostly because I have an idea of what I want to do and what I want to accomplish and how I usually see it. I see it more clearer visually, I think, if that makes any sense. So, and I changed the pose. I decided to do a different dynamic pose. This one, I don't know if if there's any story compared to the first one, which was like she's just feeding a bird. I guess she's reaching out to someone. I don't know. I didn't really think too deeply about the story. So, yeah, where am I going with this? Okay. Still drinking. I took some of my other sister's margarita, so been drinking that on top of the strawberryta. So, bit giggly, not drunk, just I don't know how to describe it. But anyway, distracted, I guess. So, quickly draw the shape. Her shape and form. Making sure I have enough room for the wings this time. That's why I think I had a problem with last time. I didn't draw enough room for the wings because I was busy thinking about the bird and the figure. I actually drew the wings the last minute. This time I'm thinking about where to place the wings on the paper. And the hand will be hard because she's reaching out, so I don't think I'll draw the whole hand. I think I'll draw part of her hand. But I'm making sure it doesn't look too cut off. And apologize if I'm speaking too quickly. I tend to do that. So, okay. So, as I was saying. And then I think also last time I had trouble placing the other side of the wing because I didn't know how it would shape or form or supposed to look on the other side of her back. So I just drew them together and it looks really weird. It looks like two big mountain of berries. It's just hanging in the backdrop in the background. And it doesn't really look aesthetically pleasing. So this one looks better after looking at many different references of wings, bird wings, and having practice. I don't think it's the greatest, but I think it would look better than what I drew last time. So, and just like last time, I'm starting with the what you might call it, skin tone. And her skin tone, of course, is gonna be pink with strawberries. But I think I mixed up not strawberry, the pink I use. I think I made this pink a bit darker as I mix up the shadow with the red. Not a dark red, but one of the reds. I have 3 reds on this palette. I don't know if I showed it to you before, but I think I did take a picture and put it on Instagram. But anyway, and then I went to, and then the whites. Again, of course, it's gonna stick with the gray with the white for the white shade on the white areas. And for I definitely mixed up the pinks. For the last one, I think I did, because the face on the last one looks lighter. But again, as I said, this watercolor is chalky. Anyway, when I put the body, I think it's lighter, but when I mix it to green, it works. And I'm able to get a more darker shade as I blend more green into the pink. Now that it's dry and I'm looking at it, it is quite chalky, even now, but it's not as light and pale as last time. Good to know. So it definitely, another thing I learned, when using these watercolors, you definitely gotta build up the color and you gotta use a lot of pigment because it's so light it's chalky regardless, but it's so light when it dries, especially the lighter colors. Anyway, so here, the moment of truth, saving the best for last. the eyes. So yeah. And this time I'm just keeping the eyes simple green instead of mixing the red and green on such a small painting. I mean, you can still see on this one, but the other one, but eh. So keeping it green, simple. Okay, now real moment of truth, the wings. And apply with a light wash just to get the figure of the wings. And now applying, I need to later overlap it with darker colors. But this time, instead of going straight with red, I use pink. So I mix the green and pink together to get the feathers. Well, I use the green on top, and for the feathers I use the pink to get the shape of the feathers. And I use the outermost wing first, if that makes any sense, the one behind her head. So I did that one first, and I did that one because that one will eventually be the darker one because it's behind her head and this for this one. So I just assume, I don't know, make that the darkest wing and it's the furthest one, so the angle will probably make it darker, or you know, darker to very light. But I don't think I made it as light as it could have been, because I keep applying colors to give more shape and form. And that's, I think I had the longest time struggling, is not making my colors way too muddy. Not just in watercolor, but also in ink and gouache. It's like, I like the shape and form, but I like building up the colors to get what I want, because I don't like use black ink too much. But as I said, it builds up to a point where my colors get too muddy, and I try not to do that, and try not to get to that point. Anyway, but I think I did well in the back, and I put the one closest to her head, and I mixed a little purple with the red. Oh, and for the shape of the feathers I added, that's why I used the red. That's when I started using the red. I mixed the purple and the red to get the shading in the back of the wings. And then I probably something similar, but in a bigger stroke, with a closest wing, front wing, I don't know what you would call it. Anyway, light green going to pink, feathers in red, shape the feathers in red, and then as it goes out towards the floof part, the but I go, yeah, that part. I don't put too much red. I don't darken the red that much. I just use as it dilates, dilutes, on the brush. So it looks more purpose. I don't know how you would say it. Not purposeful, but we know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying. Yeah. Alright. So, then that's when I start adding shading with the reds and the purple. And trying to, again, not muddy up my colors. Which was really hard to do because I really want to shade from the back, because that's where she's blocking the light off her wings, is from her back, is it's not giving a lot of light. It's on her back. I said that so many times. And then the part where the wing is probably under another wing, so I add a little purple under there, and I apply more red. And so a part of it is purple, and then just part of it is just like lots of reds, like to get that dark color and blend it in with the green. And I think I probably put too strong of a red, but it's supposed to be like a fluffy part of the feathers, if that makes any sense. On the top part of the feathers is short wings, well, short feathers, short wings, that makes no sense. Short wings on top of the feather. Anyway, short wings. And then I went to, and I try not to do too much on the lighter area, but I want to show a gradient, so I did a little bit of red, but again, whatever little pigment that's left on the brush, I use that and rub it against to make it look like a gradient. So I think overall, and of course, I added, again, avoiding black. For her face, I added some darker red and black to outline the eyes, the lips, and the nose, and just pure red for her eyebrows. Everything else, the berries, the seeds of the strawberry, because it's strawberry wings, I use Sharpie. I forgot what it's called, but I think it's a Sharpie or something like that. Yeah, I'm too lazy to actually go look and tell you exactly what it's called. But it's Sharpie. That's like, you know. And it's just, I had this for the longest time, and I don't use it much, so whatever. And I still don't know the name of it. And I use it before I even fully let it dry. Just start applying the seeds onto the wings, and I think I like this much better. I wish I made the wings bigger. Now looking at it, but I think because I was so squished up, the top part should be longer. But as I said, it's so squished up against the paper that it doesn't go as far as I would like. And then in contrast with the hands, where I didn't want to cut off too much because it would look really weird and awkward, the composition. I'm not adding a background to this one, frankly, not because I'm lazy, but because I don't think it needs one. I think it works as is. It would have been stronger with a background or some kind of shading. Yes. But I don't want to ruin. I'm happy with it so much right now. I don't want to ruin it with a background or even a drop of shade of color. I'm afraid I will ruin it just from that. And since I worked so hard on these wings, and I like the background in the last one. So anyway, since I worked so hard on these wings, I'm gonna leave this one as is for today. And I accomplished what I wanted, which was the revenge of the strawberry wings. So if you haven't made it this far, thank you for watching. Bye.